Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that really makes you think about trust and the secrets we keep. This is the story of Mark and Sarah, a couple who seemed to have it all, until one small discovery unraveled everything. Mark and Sarah had been married for 8 years. From the outside, their life was a picture-perfect postcard. They had a beautiful home in the suburbs, 2 wonderful kids, and a golden retriever named Buddy. Mark worked as an architect, and Sarah was a successful graphic designer who worked from home, giving her the flexibility to manage the kids' schedules. They were that couple everyone admired, always laughing, finishing each other's sentences, the embodiment of a happy marriage. Mark felt like the luckiest man alive. He adored Sarah. To him, she was not just his wife, but his best friend, his confidant, the center of his universe. He never once had a reason to doubt her or their bond. But lately, something had felt off. It wasn't one big thing, but a series of small, almost unnoticeable changes. Sarah had become more guarded with her phone, always placing it face down on the table. She started having girls' nights more frequently, coming home late with vague stories about her evening. When Mark would ask about her day, her answers became shorter, less detailed. He'd try to hug her, and she'd stiffen for a moment before relaxing. He brushed it off at first. He told himself it was stress. Her design business was growing. The kids were a handful. It was only natural for her to be a bit distant. He didn't want to be the paranoid husband, so he pushed his worries to the back of his mind. One Friday evening, everything changed. Sarah was getting ready for another one of her girls' nights out. She was dressed up, looking stunning in a new black dress. She gave Mark a quick peck on the cheek, grabbed her purse, and headed for the door. "Don't wait up, honey. It might be a late one," she called out as she left. Mark waved goodbye from the couch, a familiar knot of unease tightening in his stomach. He tried to ignore it, turning his attention back to the movie he was watching with the kids. After tucking the children into bed, the house fell silent. The quiet amplified Mark's anxiety. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He decided to tidy up the living room to keep his mind busy. As he was fluffing the couch cushions, he noticed Sarah's everyday purse, the one she usually took to run errands, was wedged between the seats. She must have switched to her fancier clutch for her night out. He picked it up, intending to put it on the entryway table. But as he held it, he felt something heavy and hard inside, shifting the weight of the bag. Curiosity got the better of him. He knew he shouldn't, but he unzipped the main compartment. Inside, among the usual clutter of receipts, lipstick, and keys, his fingers brushed against a smooth, cold object tucked away in a side pocket. He pulled it out. His heart didn't just sink. It felt like it stopped beating altogether. It was a smartphone. A second phone. It wasn't her usual one, the one she'd been so protective of lately. This was an older model, plain and black, with a cracked screen protector. Why would Sarah need a second phone? 1,000 scenarios, all of them terrible, flooded his mind. His hands trembled as he pressed the power button. He was half hoping it wouldn't turn on, that the battery would be dead. But the screen lit up, displaying a generic wallpaper. There was no passcode. It was unlocked. With a deep, shaky breath, he tapped on the message icon. His world shattered into a million pieces. There were threads of conversations, not with her girlfriends, but with a man named Alex. The messages were filled with, "I miss yous," "I can't wait to see you tonight's," and details of their secret meetings. There were photos, too. Photos of them together, smiling, holding hands, looking every bit the happy couple that he and Sarah used to be. They talked about their future, about how they couldn't wait to be together without hiding. It was all there, in black and white. Every late night, every vague story, every moment of distance suddenly made a horrible, painful kind of sense. The girls' nights weren't girls' nights at all. Mark sank onto the floor, the phone still glowing in his hand. The air was knocked out of his lungs. He felt a profound sense of betrayal, a physical pain in his chest so intense he thought he might be having a heart attack. This wasn't the woman he married, the life he believed he had, the love he thought was real. It was all a lie. He read through the messages again and again, each word a fresh stab to his heart. The man, Alex, was apparently a client she'd been working with. Their professional relationship had morphed into a secret affair that had been going on for months. He didn't know how long he sat there on the floor, surrounded by the ruins of his marriage. Hours seemed to pass in a blur of shock and grief. He heard the front door open and Sarah walked in, humming softly. "Hey, I'm home," she said cheerfully before she saw him on the floor, the secret phone in his hand. The color drained from her face. The cheerful mask fell, replaced by a look of pure panic. The silence in the room was deafening. There were no more secrets. The truth was out, lying bare and ugly between them. Mark finally looked up, his eyes meeting hers. He didn't scream. He didn't yell. He just felt empty. In a low, broken voice, he asked the only question that mattered. Why? That single word hung in the air, heavy with the weight of 8 years of marriage and a future that had just been erased. The perfect picture had been torn to shreds, and Mark knew that no amount of glue could ever put it back together again. He was no longer the lucky man with the perfect life. He was just a man with a broken heart, facing a future he never could have imagined. His life, as he knew it, was over. Facing this kind of betrayal is an incredibly difficult and painful experience. For anyone going through a similar situation, remember that your feelings are valid. It's so important to seek support, whether it's from trusted friends, family, or a professional counselor. Talking about it can be the first step toward healing and figuring out what comes next for you. You are not alone in this journey. Thank you for listening to this story with me today. If it resonated with you, or if you have thoughts you'd like to share, please leave a comment below. We're building a community here, and your voice matters. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.